Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I am making my tea tree charcoal bar soap. It is my most cleansing, most deodorizing, most detoxifying bar soap that I make and sell with activated charcoal and pure tea tree essential oil. If you want to see the whole process and exactly how it's done, then stay tuned. If you've watched any of my other soap making videos, you know that I start with my essential oils and I'm always really careful with them to get them out of the way because they're the most expensive ingredients that I use. This is a pure Australian tea tree oil. A little tip is to use a stick to pour it so it doesn't drip down the side, and also add a little bit of cornstarch to your oils to help the fragrance last longer in your bar. You might also know that I master batch my lye solution. So I make about 6 to 8 of these lye containers at a time in advance, up to 2 months in advance, and I put them in portions of 2 loaves at a time. I also use these containers to master batch my oils, and I weigh them out in 1 loaf at a time. It just helps me make sure that the measurements are more precise. They're a lot heavier than the lye solution. So what I'm doing is I'm just combining oils for 2 loaves because making 2 loaves at a time is about the smallest batch that I do. I'm checking the temperature, getting this heated to around 100, maximum 115 degrees, which is what I like to soap at. There's still a few solid bits, but I know that they're gonna melt as I continue. Next up, my lathering effect is with white kaolin clay. It makes a really creamy, thick, rich lather. I'll use the stick blender to get that really thoroughly incorporated with the oils before adding the lye solution. If you guys are new to soap making and afraid of lye solution, I was for a long time, my advice is to go for it. Don't be afraid. As long as you follow precautions, use long sleeves, gloves, and eyewear, it's really not that intimidating at all. And using lye is the only way to make real natural soap, not detergents and emulsifiers like you find in a lot of the big box stores. I'll be using my immersion blender just to get this to a gentle, slight trace before adding in my Australian tea tree essential oil. I don't know about you guys, but I love tea tree oil. My aunt used to sell tea tree products, and we used tea tree salve on like bug bites and scrapes when I was a kid, and it's just this comforting smell from my childhood. And I find that people either love it or hate it, but it's one of my absolute favorites. So we'll get that incorporated a little bit more with the blender, just to a very light trace. I'm careful not to overmix the batter because we want to have time to add the swirl with 2 different colors before it thickens up. For the black, I am using activated charcoal powder. If you're unaware, charcoal powder, activated charcoal powder, is made by burning coconut husks. You can see it has a tiny scooper, and that's because a little bit goes quite a long way. This is that, ingredient that will pull impurities from the skin and act as a deodorizer and detoxifier. And I just love watching it mix into the previously white batter, and we'll get this really well incorporated before we make the swirl. Whenever I do the in the pot swirl, I like to do a crazy 8 one way, a crazy 8 the other way, and then fold over from the bottom. But you don't want to overdo it. You want it to look more like a swirled cheesecake because you want to have that separation and striation of the colors. Now it's time for my 10-inch loaf molds. And no, my mold is not dirty. It is just stained from many, many batches of my very popular tea tree and charcoal soap. Look at that contrast. I love the stripes that are already going on in this wet batter. A simple spoon is all it takes to make a beautiful wave design in the top. I've learned that less is more with this. I never seem to get it as perfect as I want, so I try to just make one pass and force myself to walk away. Okay, that's it, walk away. I always wait overnight for the loaves to harden. I wish you guys could smell how clean and pure this smells. And it's time for my favorite part, which is to unmold and cut these bars. I get really excited on mornings that I know that I have soap to cut. Look at that beautiful black and white contrast. Right about now, I'm kicking myself because I forgot to push play when filming the cut, but just look at this beautiful butterfly effect and kaleidoscoping that we got from this yin and yang, white and dark contrasting. So there you go, guys. That's my process in a nutshell. These will cure for 3 to 4 weeks before I sell them. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. Please subscribe for more soap making videos, more cooking from scratch, and more gardening. I hope to see you back here on my channel, and have a wonderful day.